This podcast is brought to you by Contessa Digital.
You cannot expect other people to give you loyalty when you don't give that loyalty to yourself. Welcome to Confidently Cherished. My name is Keshia Rice. I am a dating coach and hypnotherapist. I help ambitious women learn how to heal from their unhealthy relationship patterns and create healthy, loving, cherished relationships. And I have been dealing a lot lately with my clients and talking about managing their expectations in a relationship. And I don't mean this in a negative way. Too often, when people hear manage your expectations, they think you're preparing them for something bad. You're telling them to settle for less. You're telling them that things are not going to go the way that they want them to go, and that they should just go ahead and expect the worst in a situation. That's not at all what I'm saying. But I tell my clients all the time that people only love you at the level that you love yourself. You know, the greatest romance that you will ever have is the romance that you have with yourself. Your self-love sets the tone, sets the stage for every other relationship that comes out of it. And even your spiritual, religious relationships. I say that because I was a guest on a podcast one time, and I was saying that the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. And the host of the podcast said, second to God, of course. And I would argue not so much, because I get it. I'm a Christian myself. But I know from experience that so often people, women in particular, will say they love God, they know God can do all things, they trust God. And before someone thinks that I'm coming specifically for Christians, I studied religion and spirituality in college, so I know that this also applies to all other faiths and beliefs as well. My Hindu girls, my Jewish girls, my Muslim girls, my spiritual girls who believe in universe, they're all guilty. But women will say, yeah, I love God. I believe God can do all things. But then walk around expecting the worst in their lives. Will walk around thinking that they don't deserve that great career, don't deserve those great friendships. Most importantly, don't deserve those great relationships, don't deserve a partner who truly loves them and cares for them, because they believe, yeah, God can do all things, but God isn't going to do all things for me because I'm not worthy. God isn't going to take care of me like that because I'm not beautiful enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not loving enough. I'm not worthy enough. So then they go into these other relationships on the earthly plane and they have the same attitude. They have hopes for loving relationships, for people to treat them well, for people to do right by them, but those hopes don't play out into their everyday lives because there's a part of them that doesn't believe that it's possible for them. And the fact that these women don't believe a loving, healthy relationship is possible for them is reflected in the relationship they have with themselves. Let me explain how this cycle works. Too often, I will see a woman desires to be loved, to find that perfect partner, to be in a happy relationship with this partner. And they will meet someone who has been hurt in the past, who seems like a great guy, but unfortunately, he's been through a lot. He's been betrayed in the past, and now he has a hard time trusting. So they look at this man and they think, well, that's not going to be a problem with me because I'm loving, I'm authentic, I'm genuine. And once we're in a relationship together, he'll see that he doesn't have to worry about these things. And I'll give him the love he needs and he'll give me the love that I need. Unfortunately, what ends up happening is this man does not have the capacity to love at the level that they want, that they desire. So it doesn't matter how much they pour into him. He is not capable of being the partner that they so desperately want. What ends up happening is the woman will continue to pour more and more energy and love into this man. More time, more effort, more consideration, in hopes of showing him that she can be the perfect mate, perfect partner for him. She will continue to pour this love till the cows come home. And in the process, because she has not kept in mind that the most important relationship will always be the one with herself, she will start to abandon herself. She will start to abandon her needs, her desires, in hopes of making this man happy. She will project all the love that she could be giving herself onto this person. Eventually, she will start to resent him because, again, she was hoping that all of this love that she was giving would be reciprocated, and he's not capable. He doesn't have the capacity. So she starts to resent him, and in the meantime, you have this man who is not a healed man, who is hurt, who has insecurities, who's been betrayed before, and he's feeling all of this pressure from this woman to give something that he cannot possibly give because he's not done the healing work. He doesn't even know where to begin on doing the healing work. And yeah, sometimes people, men, sometimes they do learn. They do grow. They hit a moment where they realize that it's time for them to do some inner work, see a therapist, go to a coach, get some counseling, all of that. And they end up becoming great men, great partners, great husbands, great fathers. Some men will never reach that moment. They will remain ignorant of the fact that this work is needed, and they will never become the partner that a healthy woman needs, that you need, because they don't know they have a problem. And I've seen women stay in relationships with people like that for years and years until it wears on them, until it makes them no longer believe in love, until it makes them lose the last bit of hope they had for themselves to be in a committed, loving relationship. And in the process, they become bitter and unhappy. They could have solved this problem and never found themselves in this situation by first focusing on the relationship with themselves. Because here's what happens when you instead focus on loving yourself first. When you focus on loving yourself first, certain things no longer become attractive. You start seeing unhealthy patterns in other people, as you do the healing work on yourself. You're no longer attracted to unhealthy things in other people. You no longer have any desire to fix people. You no longer have any desire to chase after things and people that aren't meant for you, that aren't in alignment with your goals and your hopes and your dreams. And you find yourself in situations where you can still love people where they are. You can have compassion for people, you can have empathy for people, but you don't allow those things into your life. You don't allow the drama, the chaos, the unrest in your life. And because of that, you will go out and you'll date and you'll meet men. And when you see the first sign of unhealthiness, you shut it down. Because you're not afraid to be alone. You're not afraid of not finding love. You know you already have it with yourself. And then when you do find someone who has done the work the same way that you've done the work, who has been on a healing journey the way you've been on a healing journey, you can step into that relationship in full faith and confidence because you've truly met someone who is now a partner in your healing journey. You don't have to pour love into this person at the expense of yourself. The two of you can love on each other from the overflow that you both have that comes from fully loving yourselves first. So I want you to spend some time thinking about what it would look like to be loyal to yourself first, and then to be loyal and loving to others from that place. What it would look like to love yourself fully to capacity first, and then be able to love other people from the overflow. And if you've been listening to me and you realize that you haven't always been loyal to yourself, that you've sometimes abandoned yourself for the sake of relationships with others, ask yourself why. Ask yourself who taught you to do that. And what are you going to do to keep that from happening again? Love you so much. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to tag me, DM me, send a screenshot and post it in your stories. I'm on social media at Keshia Rice, KESHIA RICE. On on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. In the meantime, again, just a reminder to love yourself first. Bye. Hey there. So you made it all the way to the end of the episode, which means I have two things to say. One, thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. And two, you like me. You really like me. So I would appreciate it if you would show that like by subscribing to this podcast so that more people can hear about it and enjoy it as much as you do. And if you want to know more about any of the links that I mentioned on this episode or any guests that I've had, be sure to go to KeshiaRice.com/links. That's KeshiaRice.com/links. I can't wait to talk to you again in the next episode. So see you then.